Morning, Nigel.
Morning.
You stopped the losing sequence on Saturday with that fine 1-0 win at home to Morecambe. What do you think the major differences were from that game to the previous three?
I don't think we probably played as well in patches as we did against Cambridge or against Bolton on Saturday, but we were a little bit more solid. We didn't make any mistakes, didn't give anything away, and everybody did the jobs all throughout the team. As I say the patches in Bolton and Cambridge where we played very well and created chances. A bit more of a dogged display and possibly more of what we needed in those circumstances on Saturday.
We touched upon it after the match on Saturday, but what was noticeable was how good the defence was.
Yeah, well, I think having conceded the goals that we have, 9 in 4 games, we're entitled to improve because that should hurt their pride, hurts all of us when we're conceding goals. Some of them, as I say, we couldn't do anything about. I don't think the deflection at Colchester in the last minute, you can't do much about, and the first 2 against Bolton, which essentially cost us the game and got them back into it, a fluke of a cross and an own goal. So those first 3, but then after that, we certainly should be defending better in the next few goals we conceded.
I want to speak about Jason Law with you. You started him again on the wide right position. He sort of sprung up from the sidelines in the last few weeks. Previously, he's been here, I think, 5 years it's coming up to, and he's survived, so to speak, 5 different managers. Yeah. What have you seen in him in order to give him a run in the first team now?
Well, he's just got better. When we first came in, didn't see an awful lot, to tell you the truth, and we were concentrating on the first team lads and everything, which he wasn't really a part of. And then we played him at Scunthorpe, I think, in the EFL Trophy, and he did well there. And a couple of people mentioned to us, he's neat and tidy, he won't give the ball away and everything. And I think training with the first team as he has done every day, he's just gradually grown in confidence, and I think he's improving. And we couldn't believe against Cambridge that was his first game. We just presumed at 21 years old that somewhere along the line somebody would have given him a couple of games here or there. But now he's started his first 2 as well since then. And we want to assess him in the next few months to see if he can play a part for us next season. He's
been seen previously as a bit of a utility player. He can play in numerous positions, so we're told. Why do you see him best in the position in which you're playing him on that wide right position at the top?
We just put him in there on Saturday because Harry was absolutely desperate for a rest. He has ran himself into the ground in the last few months and sort of came to a head at Harrogate, really, where he looked dead on his feet at times. Inevitable that a player like that is going to need a breather. And then we needed to fill on the right hand side. We think Tyrese Sinclair at the moment's probably a little bit better coming on and having an impact, and that was the plan, but it didn't work like that because of the way the game went. So we just thought, well, Jason's out there, can handle the ball, and it would be a good partnership with him and Kellen, because when you have such an attacking fullback as Kellen, you don't want a winger out there sometimes. You want a sort of more of a midfield player who will then allow Kellen to get forward and he can feed him.
Let's move on. Tomorrow night you come up against a Bradford City side on their best winning run in 5 years, I think. What do you know about them?
Well, they're in a good run of form at the moment. I know Cookie's certainly helped that and got him a couple of goals, so we're pleased he won't be playing against us. But I think that everything's just sort of gelled and come together in the last couple of months, and they'll be as confident a team as we'll face this season.
What do you make of Andy Cook's progress, if you like, at Bradford City?
Just pleased for him that he wanted to go and play games, and Nicky was the same. And if we were being absolutely ultra selfish and we could say, right, you stay with us for the odd 10 minutes here or there, but games like, we may well have used him at Harrogate, but games like Saturday, we didn't put a sub on till the 92nd minute, so maybe him and Nicky would have been sitting there disappointed they weren't getting any game time. Jordan scored, Reedy's playing very well, we put Jason Law on the right, so it was best all round, but especially for the lads. They're too experienced and to be sort of sitting on somebody's bench.
At the end of the January transfer window, you made it pretty clear that Nicky Maynard, who joined Newport County on loan, you made it pretty clear that his time at Mansfield was pretty much at its end as he seeks a new opportunity now. Is that pretty much the same for Andy Cook, who's joined Bradford on loan?
We're not sure. We haven't made decisions on either of them. Obviously, Nicky's contract's up. I believe we have an option on Cookie, so that's the sort of conversation we'll be having in the next few weeks as we look towards next season. But they're both good lads. It was really as much about, and being fair to them. as much as anything. And also, we've said, right, we're going to put our faith in Reedy for now. Let's see how he does. He's a fit lad, so barring an injury, which you can't really predict, he's going to play majority of the games between now and the end of the season.
Team news wise, who's on the treatment table today?
One or two knocks. Stephen Quinn, back and groin from Saturday, and also I think picking one of his kids up on Friday. I think he tweaked his back, believe it or not. Jason Law, groin, one or two little knocks and niggles, but it might well be the same squad. Not sure. Certainly Laps won't make it. Stephen McLaughlin's doubtful, and Ollie Sarkic is probably the closest of the three.
Sounds like if you're in the Warzone.
Yeah, it's always this time of season when it's week in, week out. That's Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. It's inevitable. There's very little recovery time, very little time to do things. It is sort of recovery preparation, and that is it in the week.
Could that lead to a couple being promoted from the academy?
Yeah, that could be. But we've got the fullest squad at the moment in terms of 18 on the bench, and Jamie Pardington is our 19th, sort of as a spare goalkeeper we always take just in case. But if we need anybody, then we'll certainly put one of those on the bench.
Very finally from me today, Nigel, you've made it clear since you came in here in November that the target was to survive this season. That has remained the case despite that excellent run of 5 winning matches in Sky Bet League 2, and since without a win in 5, stopped on Saturday, of course, via that fine 1-0 win at home to Morecambe. I wonder, therefore, if you've set a points target between now and the end of the campaign, or whether you're taking it on a game-by-game basis?
Very much a game by game. We want to get safe. That's still the bottom line, but that can be several different ways. You can finish in the top half of the league and still be safe. So we want to get as many points as we can. But it's also, we must have a little bit of an eye on next season as well. I think we're good enough to stay up this season. I have no doubt about that. Don't want to get dragged into any sort of silly relegation fight. But also, we want to have a look at things for next season. We want to have a look at players like Jason Law and maybe one or two others. And it's about establishing a pattern of play, a sort of method of playing. Who's good enough, who's not, who's going to play a part next season. It's all those sorts of decisions as well that we've got to make in the next 3 months, as well as trying to win games.
Thanks, Nigel. Best of luck tomorrow.
Pleasure.